But I do really like this. I do not like... God damn. Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, home of the Lemmy vs. Limey games. I'm your official Zeke Lamone, and today, Lemmy and Limey will be facing off in Love, Simon. Love, Simon was directed by Greg Berlanti and stars Nick Robinson as the title character. This film is a book adaptation that was titled Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, where both are about a closeted gay kid who is trying to figure out when to come out and also finding love in the process from a mysterious person. Now, Love, Simon is by no means the first movie to have a gay main character, but it is the first time a major studio showed confidence in such. Now, this movie was met with both critic and audience success, making $66 million worldwide on a $10 to $17 million budget. But where will it land on the Lemon scale? Will Lemmy move to 4-0? Or will Limey finally have his time to shine? Let's find out. Act 1 kicks off with an opening montage of Simon's life. He's just like us. He's got parents, he's got a sibling, and he's got friends. But he does have one big secret. While he's checking out the hunk outside, his dad comes in, played by Josh Duhamel, asking him, if he's been buffing the muffin, charming the cobra. Making the bald man cry. Masturbating. He thinks he's masturbating. He doesn't really think that, though. He's just a little jokester. And he's telling Simon that his sister made some pancakes. They're good, according to Simon, but to his sister, played by Tilda Bateman, she thinks they're not crumbly enough. He also has a nice little back and forth with his mom, who's played by Jennifer Gardner. When he goes outside, he attempts to flirt with the hunk, but it goes very awkwardly. And I must say, this is the first time where I really related to Simon. I'm not gay, but I've had many, many awkward flirting attempts as well that went exactly the way Simon's went. And this is the first time where he just felt really likable, and I was like, I get it, man. So we kick off with a Lemmy. He goes to pick up his friends. There's Nick, who is played by Jorge Landborg Jr., and then there is Leia, who is played by Catherine Langford. He goes to pick them up at both of their houses, even though they are neighbors. Like, just one of y'all go to the other house. There's no need to make this 2 stops. And there is Abby, who is played by Alexandra Shipp. Once they are all picked up, Nick is telling them about a dream that he had, that he loses his contacts and he keeps stumbling everywhere. Abby has a hunch that he's not seeing something that's right in front of him. This makes Simon really awkward and gives the idea to have a very awkward dance party. It's your typical high school. There's the group of friends who are always on their phone, that one couple who won't stop making out, and the couple of guys who just do not know who they are yet, so they bully people who do know who they are. Abby is new to the school and explains what would happen at our old school.
Yeah, well, at my old school, that would have been settled with a knife fight.
It's pretty metal, Abby. What do you think she went to, Leia? Liberty High? We then meet the high school vice principal, Mr. Worth, played by Tony Hill. And there's 2 things about him. He don't like phones, and he hasn't heard of Nike.
Come on, you gotta let me know the brand. I want to be Sneaker Brothers.
Who hasn't heard of Nike? We also meet Martin, who is played by Logan Miller, who has a crush on Abby. After school, Simon's family is trying to figure out what they're going to watch on the television. Once they decide that they may watch The Bachelor, his dad makes a joke about The Bachelor being gay, which upsets Simon. And I really like how Nick plays the subtle moments here. I don't like how the camera immediately goes on him. I kind of wish they would have kept a wide shot of the whole family. That really shows how easy it is to miss the signs of it. But regardless, Nick plays a closeted gay kid absolutely great, especially for being straight himself. Fun fact, while filming this movie, Nick's brother also came out gay. I just found that pretty cool. Later that night, Leia calls up Simon to see if he has seen the latest post on Craig's Secrets, which is a website where you can post names anonymously, so like Yik Yak if you're around that time. It's about a closeted gay kid who is going by the anonymous name Blue. Leia's trying to guess who it is. It might be a sophomore because she gets a vibe. Oh, the irony. Or it may be Greg O'Malley because he is obsessed with Les Mis. Well, Leia, I have to tell you, that hunch is wrong because I am a huge fan of Les Mis, and like I said earlier, I'm not gay. Although I do really like this scene overall because it really gives the double whammy from the dad's point and now Leia's point that there are certain tropes to being gay, and there just isn't. Simon looks like a normal kid, and there are really no true tropes to being gay because in all reality, the only thing that is truly making someone gay is if they're gay because, that's it, they're gay. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Simon then gets off the phone with Leia and decides to message Blue the whole narration / monologue from the very beginning. The next day at school, Simon's constantly checking his phone hoping Blue sends a response, but he is then caught by Mr. Worth, who says he can get his phone back after theater practice. Rehearsal is then over, and he gets his phone, and he goes back to his car to check his phone, and Blue has finally messaged back. And another great relatable moment. There is nothing like getting a message from someone that you truly, truly want to talk to. They exchanged messages for when they knew they were first gay. Simon's was Daniel Radcliffe. He kept having dreams about him. While Blue was crushing really hard on Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Both very fine choices, but I'm really curious to know how Blue feels about Season 8. I wonder if he's like everyone else, or he will admit that's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's right. I said what I said. And then the movie decides to have this plot. Martin uses the computer after Simon that he was messaging Blue on. And he tells Simon, hey, I won't tell anyone as long as you help me get Abby to like me. So he's basically blackmailing Simon. And I really, really don't like this storyline at all. I get it. It's in the book. I totally get that. But I really wish that this movie was just about a closet gay kid trying to figure out when to come out, you know, having feelings for a boy and all that. I really wish that they would have just kept it simple. I really do. But they threw this in. I get it. You know, it also makes it for more entertaining. And also, I don't like how it was set up, if that makes sense. Like, I do not believe Simon would use a computer at the school to message Blue. He's been very, very safe and using his phone. No one really knows about anything. I really don't think he would use a computer. Let alone not make sure that the messages are no longer on the computer regardless of who was talking to him. I just don't see that at all. So this whole setup for it and the execution of it just feels like a real big because movie. Simon agrees to end Act 1, and Act 2 kicks off with Blue messaging Simon later that night to make a confession that yes, he is going to dress as someone for Halloween, but he doesn't want to tell Simon who he's dressing up as because he doesn't want to know who he is yet, because he doesn't want his life to change. Simon understands, but he expects it's Bram, who is played by Kean Lonsdale, because both Bram and Blue love Oreos, especially the orange frosted ones. The next day, Simon goes to Martin's house to try to figure out a game plan to see how they can get Abby to like him. Simon's taking the route of, well, we gotta change who you are, but Martin assures him, hey, I don't want to change who I am. I want Abby to like me for me. And honestly, point to Lemmy here. I truly don't think Martin's a bad guy. Yes, he's doing some bad things. He is our heel in this story. But I think he is just, you know, a typical high school boy who really likes a girl, and he's just going the wrong way about it. Simon invites Martin to come to Bram's party with him and his friends, and needless to say, his friends aren't too excited about it. And at the party, Martin's very upset because Nick and Abby keep flirting it up. And he tells Simon that needs to stop. And Nick tells Simon, yeah, I'm into Abby. And he asks Simon if he's into her because he doesn't want to impose a friendship or anything like that. And Simon says, no, I am not. And then he says it's not because she's black or anything like that. And yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's just really unnecessary. Like, Simon, he understood the first time he said no, man. Although, due to the deal with Martin, he tells Nick that he can't pursue Abby because she already has a boyfriend. He then runs into Bram, who asks him, hey, you want to play Babe Ruth? And Simon's like, yeah, sure, but they need 2 other players, so they get Abby and Martin to play. This gets Simon pretty hammered, and he got him singing karaoke all night long. Yeah, no, that's a Limey for me. After his concert, he's getting ready to tell Bram that he is Jock. But it turns out that Bram is kissing a girl. Oh, well, Simon, there's no way it's Bram now. No way at all, right? Right? So him and Leia go home, and Simon's really drunk, and this makes his parents ask the very important question. Are they good parents? They decide they are because, you know, he walks home, and that he is home by curfew. I absolutely love them. In Simon's room, Leia is telling Simon that she thinks she's only destined to care about one person that nearly kills her. Simon thinks this is her way of telling him that I like Nick, but really, this is her way of telling him that she likes Simon himself. Now, this is a change from the book, as Leia actually does like Nick in the book, as to her liking Simon. And this actually caused a conflict between her and Abby, as Leia doesn't really like Abby because, you know, Nick likes Abby. But they decided to change that. I don't really think it affects the story that much either way, not enough to give a Lemmy or a Limey to. I just thought that was something to point out. Simon then explains to Blue why he thinks he hasn't come out yet. He thinks it's unfair that gays are the ones that have to come out. Like, why is straight always the default? And then we get a bunch of skits of Simon's friends coming out straight to all their parents, and it's absolute comedy gold. Now, I believe it's the next day here, because Blue then responds to that message. But they are talking about Christmas, like what the kids are going to do for Christmas break. And it was just Halloween yesterday, and now we're just going straight to Christmas. Like, what gives? No one cares about Thanksgiving or what? Oh shit, Martin, you alright, man? He asked Simon to give him a band-aid, and turns out Martin was faking it the whole time. And Martin, don't scare me like that. Although Simon had a pretty good idea that he was faking it the whole time, which, I don't know how. I mean, that acting was just spectacular. Abby comes in, and Simon gives him the idea to go to Waffle House to get everyone through their lines. It's there where Martin finally makes a breakthrough. He asks Abby constantly, hey, why are you here, why you move here, and all that stuff, because he wants to get to know her. Abby says, well, they moved here because her parents got divorced because her dad is basically a big fat cheater. And he gets Abby to stand up and said that she deserves a superhero. They are yelling across Waffle House the whole time. The waiters aren't that, fazed by it, because after they leave, this happens.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
On the car ride home, Abby missed that Martin's actually a pretty cool guy. Simon apologized to her for not asking about her family and all that because he didn't want to pose or anything like that. Abby actually starts to open up more to Simon that how she is actually very afraid to be starting a new school and that she's not really happy and she no longer believes in love. Simon then questions her on that, like, come on, of course you still believe in love. And then Abby turns it back on him, asking if he has ever been in love. This makes Simon pull over, and Simon admits to Abby that he is gay. And this was just an absolutely great scene. And it also reminded me of a friend that I have named Ethan. Before the YouTube era, we did a podcast on SoundCloud called the Lemon Podcast. And he came over for his first episode. And, we were going through what we're going to go through on the show and all that. And then he just goes, hey, Zeke. And I go, yes, Ethan. He goes, I'm gay, right? But just the way that he was, delivering it, I could see that, he was kind of nervous about it, but, how I was going to take it and all that. And I could see that a lot in Simon. Just the way that he was like, Abby, I'm gay. And it just really reminded me of that. And I responded the exact same way as Abby did. Abby just said, okay. And I was like, yeah, Ethan, I knew. I knew you were. And just a great moment between me and him, and a great moment between them. Because there was some great character development for Abby, and Simon finally came out to someone. Just an absolutely great scene, and another relatable moment to me. However, I do have to give a Limey. Because while this scene's happening, I just couldn't help but think, okay, now explain what's going on. Why Martin's been such a big factor all this whole time. Yeah, sure, she'll be a little bit upset, but nothing really bad has happened yet. Everything's been relatively harmless. And I just hate this storyline. I hate the blackmail storyline. There's so many good stuff, but everything with this blackmail storyline is just crap. Simon then messages Blue to tell him about how he came out to his friend and that Blue inspired him to do that, and that he would like to reveal their identities and show who they truly are. Blue responds by saying, no, Simon, you got it all wrong. It's you who inspires me, and that he came out to his dad. But he does not want to reveal their identities just yet. He's just not ready for that. At the game, Simon sees who he expects is Blue, which is Lyle, who's played by Joey Polari. Another fun fact, a few weeks before this movie came out, Joey finally had the courage to come out gay to the public. But what he found strangest was that his mom basically knew the whole time and would even leave hints for him. Not sure how you do that, but hey, that's his story, and I found that pretty cool. When they get back to their seats, Nick and Leia have met them there because they just got back from a date, which makes Abby pretty sad. Martin then asks out Abby in front of the whole entire school, and Abby turns him down, and Martin gets memed because of it. Simon is trying to call out Martin to make sure that he's okay, but Martin will not answer. Blue then sends Simon a message that he is going to the middle of nowhere and will not be able to message him for a while. This triggers a conversation between Simon and Cal, who is played by Miles Heiser. I tried to look up your name, man, and how to pronounce it, But every interview that I found of you, it just skipped your name part. So I hope I said it right, man. I don't want to say it. I don't want to offend you in any way. In the book, Cal is the only guy that Simon expects is blue for the whole time. He doesn't find out who it is until the end. And I kind of wish they would have kept that, because it turns out, as he gets to know Cal, he realizes you're not blue. And I think that would have been a really nice, simple story to really dig into. I think that would have been really fun to see, instead of, every guy that seems to smile or any convenience happens, they say, you're blue. You're him. Yep, because of this one message. You smiled at me. Which is, again, very relatable. I mean, if a girl smiles at me, I'm always like, you into me? Like, I get it. Again, I'm not faulting the movie for it or anything like that. I'm not going to give a Limey for it. I'm just saying, I think I would have preferred if they would have just kept that instead of making that audible change. I get it. It's for more entertainment. Later that night, Leia calls Simon again and tells him that he needs to check Craig's secrets immediately because Martin has outed him and has shown all of the emails. This makes Simon obviously really upset, and he takes his anger out a little bit on his sister when she is trying to check up on him. His friends are also trying to contact him to make sure he's okay and all that, but this actually makes Simon have a panic attack. And this is a really good scene overall. I am right there with him the whole entire time, I'm also angry that this has happened. I do not like the blackmail storyline at all, but it still does its purpose. And I'm like, my blood's boiling. I'm just like, oh, freaking Martin and all that. And I'm also worried for Simon about what's going to happen after this. Is he going to lose Blue? Will Blue finally man up and all that? Because I didn't read the book the first time watching this movie through. So, I'm like, oh, crap, what's going to happen? So, it does all the things that it needed to do. So, yes, I'm going to give it a lemon. We then fast forward to Christmas, and Simon decides to tell his family that he is gay. It does not go well because his dad keeps making jokes and then storms off. His mom is trying to be understanding, but, you drop a bomb like this, you're obviously not going to have the words there and all that. And then we fast forward back to school, and he's going to pick up his friends. Man. Have I said that I hate this freaking storyline? So he gets out, and his friends are upset with him. I hate this scene. This is, to me, the worst scene in the whole movie. And it deals with the blackmail, of course. I get that his friends are upset. Nick and Abby get together on New Year's, and they get to talking about what took so long. And it turns out that, hey, Simon was lying about Abby's boyfriend and all that. We knew all that going in. And Abby's upset about the lies that Simon was spreading. And that he was trying to pawn her off to Martin to make sure that his identity is completely understandable. I get it. I do. I truly do. But the way that these characters were set up, also Leia. Let me get to her. Sorry that I'm a little scattered here, but I just really don't like this scene. I don't want to take multiple takes. Leia is also upset that he was trying to set her up with Nick, so just so that way everyone's happy, and he thought that she liked Nick. So everyone's understandable that to be upset. This is what frustrates me. They set up these characters to be much more understanding and better than that. Than to just cut Simon out of their life completely. Is what the message was portrayed here. Like, oh, we don't care if you're gay, but you made us not be the couple earlier. Man, like, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo, you didn't get together earlier. You're together now, aren't you? Like, they just set them up to be more understanding. Like, I feel like this kind of conversation is you know what, yeah, I'm going to go off on you. Go off. I totally get it. Not a piece of me and all that. Oh, yeah. Totally justifiable. But then you'd tell him to get in the car and you'd be like, you want some juice? You've had a rough time. Like, he needs y'all now more than ever. He's outed, and it wasn't his choice. Like, he's completely lost that moment for himself. And I hate this scene. I absolutely hate it. I can't stand it. At the school, Mr. Ward shows support for Simon by wearing the rainbow pin. Absolutely love that. And then we fast forward to lunchtime, where one of Simon's ex-girlfriends shows up and asks him if she only dated him because she looked like a boy. Simon confirms, no, I actually broke up with you because you don't. It's a very fun moment. I actually really enjoyed that. I feel like that had to have happened in real life at some point. And then the two idiots show up, and they are acting like Ethan and Simon. Ethan is another gay kid at the school who is played by Clark Moore. If you were someone who used to think that's funny, I'm glad you grew up, and if you're someone who still thinks this is kind of funny, because there are people who do, unfortunately, I hope you do get the help that you need and do find yourself so that you can grow up. And then Miss Albright shows up, who is played by Natasha Rothwell, and she tells the boys off like a true queen. And then Mr. Worth is talking to them in the office while Simon and Ethan are waiting. Ethan's trying to tell Simon, hey, you could have told me that you're gay. And Simon's like, well, I didn't think we had that much in common. And Ethan just kind of laughs it off like, yeah, well, Simon, your leather jackets aren't really a turn on, all that. And I really enjoyed that as well. Very, very good scene. Also, in this scene, Ethan is also telling Simon about how it's really not that easy for him, because Simon's like, it's always easy for you, Ethan. And Ethan's like, nah, it's really not, because every Sunday they meet his grandparents, and they still pretend that he is straight, and that he has a lot of girlfriends and all that, and you should hear the way his mom talks about the girls. Just very powerful scene, just to show that even the strongest person still have their weak moments, and that their trials and tribulations that they are going through. When he leaves school, Martin is waiting for him. And he tells Martin off. Martin's trying to apologize because he didn't think it would get this bad, and he didn't think that was that big of a deal. Simon's telling him off about like this was supposed to be his thing and all that, and uses the one F-bomb in this movie so that way this movie can keep its PG-13 rating. And this was the perfect time to use it. I'm not a huge supporter of that, like, oh, you need to have cussing. I don't mind cussing. Like, if you're going to have F-bombs and go rated R, that's fine. I don't mind it. But I don't think it's necessarily necessary. But this one, I'll be like, yeah, you needed that F-bomb in there to tell him, screw off, like, get away. Perfect use of it. Let me for that. And then when he gets home, Blue ends things with Simon. And this just felt like because movie. Like, I just feel like Blue was built up a little better than that. Like, he just seemed really weak. Like, Blue's not going to get outed. Like, no one really cares about Blue. It's just really Simon. Like, no one's really going to ask about Blue, I don't think, anyway. I get why. I still give a Limey for it, though. Today, Simon finally talks with his mom after finding out Cal is not Blue. And his mom, this scene is just great. I freaking love Jennifer Gardner, dude. She is telling him about, like, you know, you need to hear your own words, because during Christmas when he told him that he was gay, he was like, look, I'm still the same Simon and all that. She's saying you need to hear that as well. And that, you know, during this whole period of this, like, she can just tell Simon was like holding his breath, and now he can exhale and all that. Just a great scene. A Lemmy for Jennifer Gardner for just performing her ass off on this, and just with line delivery. Then he goes to patch up things up with Leia, and Leia's like, hey, tell me about this guy that you love so that you can help me kill off straight Simon. You know, knives out and all. And then he talks with his dad. And then we find out why his dad was upset and all that. His dad was just upset that he didn't catch it. You know, there's this great moment with, you know, he's like, wow, 4 years? Like, when he asks him when did he know, and he goes, wow, 4 years, you know, going to movies and all that, making all those jokes and all that. He goes, like, I'm so sorry, I should have caught it. He goes, oh no, Dad. Like, it's just so good. These parent scenes are absolutely great, and they are just top notch. Great audible from the book, because in the book, the parents are basically non-existent, to put it lightly. And they took out Simon's other sister, I believe, yeah, Simon's other sister and her boyfriend. They took them out and just kept the one sister to bring in more room for the parents. Great audible, absolutely love that. A Lemmy with this scene as well. And that is the end of Act 2. Act 3 kicks off with Simon calling out Blue on Craig's secrets to come to the Ferris wheel after the play. After the play, his friends come back to him and be like, hey, all's good, let's go get your man, we're here to cheer you on. And it turns out the whole school is there to cheer him on. And he goes round and round. But then, when he runs out of tickets, it looks like no Blue is going to show up. But then Martin shows up claiming to be Blue, and Simon's like, no, it's not him. And Martin admits. This was a nice little nod as to there's a brief storyline where Simon thinks Martin is just Blue to mess with Simon, pretty much. And I just thought that was a pretty cool nod to that storyline. Martin then decides to pay for the last ride. The guy makes for the last call, and who is that, Abby?
It's Bram.
Oh my fucking god. It's Bram? They share their first kiss on top of the Ferris wheel, and it's freaking romantic. Zeke loves love. I gotta be honest with y'all. And the movie ends with Simon, his friends, and boyfriend now, going on an adventure. Well, it was close until Lemmy just took over. Damn. Love, Simon is the story of a kid who is just trying to be comfortable with himself. And with that is the lesson. Don't be afraid to be yourself. And that is a lesson that both gays and straights can learn. Our first standout performance is not a good one. There is a lot of because movie moments in this movie. And now I get it. I'm not here to watch a movie to see realism. But I couldn't disdain my disbelief. Like, even for me, who can forgive just about anything, I couldn't disdain my disbelief for some of the things that happened in this movie. There's a lot of logical flaws to it. Our second standout performance goes to the young actors themselves. They did a phenomenal job, and they did something that's very difficult to do, which is make a very believable high school atmosphere. I actually felt like I was back in school with these kids. Our third standout performance goes to Josh Duhamel and Jennifer Gardner as the parents of this movie. To me, they had the two best scenes of the whole entire movie, and for being non-existent characters in the book, and to being great in this movie, and from book readers to be like, love the parents in it, I think that gives them props. So this is how the lemon scale works. If I just don't like the movie, I think it's awful, it's a sour lemon. If I don't like it, but there is some enjoyment to it, it's an expired store-bought lemonade. If I liked it, but there's a lot of problems to it, it's a store-bought lemonade. If I like the movie, it's a lemonade. If I really like the movie, but there is some problems to it, it's a freshly squeezed lemonade. And if I think it's top tier, 10 out of 10, I have to be really nitpicky for the problems, it is a strawberry lemonade because that is the best kind of lemonade. And with a score of 27 to 16, that makes Love, Simon a lemonade. It was really close to freshly squeezed though, guys. I gotta be really honest with ya. Just some things that it took it out from those top 2 tier rankings. And that'll be it here from Lemon Studios. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I will see y'all here next time.